That's great. Thank you very much. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time. Okay, sorry. Not sure what's going on with that. So we're going to talk a little bit about the value of a PMO. So many of us work in a PMO organization, and for a long time, setting up a PMO was somewhat of a fad, if you will. Lots of companies would set up PMOs at a department level, at a division level, at an enterprise level. But when you look back at those PMOs, about half of them fail or close within a relatively short period of time. And so ESI did a study back in 2010 that says 50% of them close within 4 years. If you follow up on that statistic, it has been amazingly consistent that it's about half of the PMOs that are set up close within a 4-year period. It's not entirely bad if the PMO is set up for a specific purpose, like handling a merger, and then the merger closed and then that PMO had delivered the value intended. But in many cases, when it is an enterprise level and it's intended to be ongoing, that's not a good thing. But the key point here is to add value. So even in the example provided, when you look at a PMO that was created to shepherd all of the merger activity in a given company, once that merger is completed, the value has been added, that PMO can close. In an enterprise PMO, where the intent is to provide ongoing value and to deliver strategy for the company, when that doesn't deliver the value intended and it closes, that's not the good thing. So the intent for today's discussion is to look at how a PMO can provide value, and for you to do somewhat of a retrospective within your own PMO environment and to see if your PMO is indeed providing the value needed to the company. So if you look at the many ways a PMO contribute to an organization, there are some very common themes throughout. So if you look at kind of the purposes of a PMO, one of the things that it is intended to do is to provide some consistency to the project delivery, to make sure that everybody in the respective PMO is using a best practice, they're following standard procedures, if you will, so that the look is a consistent feel for the stakeholders that the PMO engages with. That produces a level of accountability because you have clear definition of roles, you know what the expectations are from those individuals because they're following best practices and giving you what you need. The piece that kind of ties into that accountability is ensuring that there's proper reporting going on, and that will provide the adequate need of visibility into the work that the PMO is doing. So lots of times I have seen that an organization does phenomenal work as far as the delivery of value that it was intended to deliver, but where the PMO fails is not being visible to the stakeholders and doing an adequate job with communicating the value that they're bringing to the organization. Typically that is done through a myriad of methods, not just the standard status report that we all hate filling out, but also through presentations with senior leadership and mapping the deliverables of the individual projects and how they roll up to deliver the strategic component that the executives are looking for. The other thing that status provides to the leadership is a understanding of what's going on, and the only way that happens is if all of that reporting is transparent. Understanding what the risks are, how to facilitate mitigating those risks or removing obstacles if it is more of an issue scenario, but making sure that those things have been resolved, mitigated, handled. that produces a predictability in delivery. So you know when things are going to be delivered, if they're going to be delivered in the manner in which they were expected, or the cost that was expected, and the level of quality that was anticipated. For many of us that have been working for any period of time in a Windows-based environment in particular, you are very familiar with the, quote, blue screen of death. That is a quality element that is a failure, but it is something that is known for poor delivery of a asset. That's not the thing you want your PMO to be known for, is a rollout that when it started back in the 1980s and early 90s, it has continued to this day. That quality component is very important to an organization, and you don't want to have something hung on your work like that, that follows you around, if you will, so that you constantly have to chase down those demons, if you will. But you want to ensure that all the work is aligned to those strategic goals, that you are showing when it's going to happen so that the organization understands when those benefits are going to be realized, so that they know that their organizational components are going to be delivered. These factors, if you will, are the key points of how a PMO contributes to any organization, and you want to make sure that as a leader or a manager within that PMO, that these are things that you are delivering for your organization. So all of that summed up is you are providing value to the organization. And when you think about what does that look like, you have to capture the value. And by that, I mean determining where the value lies, and then figuring out how you can deliver that to the organization. And then you measure it. Did it deliver how you initially anticipated? Is there more value to be obtained? And throughout the entire process, you need to be communicating that transparency back to the organization so that they understand at a senior level what delivery is providing what value, and when those benefits can be incurred by the organization. So first we'll talk about capturing the value. You need to think about value in the eye of the beholder. So if you provide a person who is starving with a sack lunch, they're going to be ecstatic because it's food and they're hungry. But if you provide that same sack lunch to someone who's used to eating caviar and lobster, they're going to be quite disappointed. That is a very banal sort of example, but to that point, the value of that.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Malutis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year. But if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.